Welcome into the Baja Bottom Boys. It's your boy, the ugly homie.
It's your boy Spready Roosevelt.
It's a beautiful Monday. We're out in the backyard, taking in the sun, enjoying the breeze, and feeling the birds and the bees do their thing.
Yeah, what'd you do this weekend besides watch football? Your Bucs suck.
Yeah, so do your Packers. They lost to
Yeah,
the fucking Broncos. Don't start talking
that's
shit to me
fine.
now.
We're gonna get Marvin Harrison Jr. because this is just how the cycle goes. We're bad for 1 year. We get the draft pick.
You're not getting
We
Marvin
put
Harrison
it all
Jr.
together. We get something like an O lineman, and then the third year we win the Super Bowl, and then we disappoint. Then I get disappointed for another 10 to 12.
Sounds about right.
At some point, we're getting the Super Bowl.
Every 20 years, the Bucs pick up a quarterback to help complement their defense and win a Super Bowl, and then disappoint
Yeah.
continually after that.
Speaking of things over 20, we were discussing before we went on, what's things you enjoy now as a dad and me over 30 that you wouldn't consider like it fulfilled your day and like when you were a kid, but now it's like, hey, I had a busy day.
Yeah. What was it?
Power washing?
Pressure washing is something that's just like oddly satisfying. Like just watching how dirty something was, and then you pressure wash it and you get it clean.
Yes.
It just kind of like fills your soul. It makes your soul smile.
You're
I don't know
bringing
why.
you're bringing order. You're like in control. You're bringing order to an otherwise chaotic. It's like when you were a kid, you didn't want to clean your room, but now if like you saw like a video of someone cleaning their room, you'd want to clean their room because you'd want.
Yeah, just that time lapse footage. Just like something about it, just oddly satisfying. Like another thing, like because we have this above ground pool, I had to drain it the other day because it was dirty and stuff like that. Plus, it's out of season for it. It's starting to get cold.
Yeah.
But like just sitting there and like putting the chemicals in and using the net to scoop everything out, having a little vacuum thing and just scrubbing the bottom of it. Just like I have a picture on my phone somewhere of like how clean I got it. I was just so like oddly satisfied with the process of getting it that clean and just like proud of myself for being able to do that.
Mine's is like getting my tires rotated or like filling the air when it's slow because it's like, oh, I had a busy day today.
Or like changing your own oil makes you feel like a man, you know.
Yeah, but I don't do that because I get it
You get it for free through the
for every warranty you get with the new car. It's always free oil changes.
yeah, for what?
The scam is where they try to get you, where they see who's paying attention and who's just an idiot, is when they try to offer you bullshit like, oh, we'll change your cabin air filters.
For $60.
Yeah, the fucking engine air filter. Each of them takes like if you combined it maybe 2 minutes. Just probably like opening the thing, opening the lid, slapping in. They're just paying. Yeah, it's like $60, $70. Then they want like $130 to do like a 2.5 minute job.
Yeah, what was it? The other day we ordered the cabin air filter off of Amazon for our car.
How much was that?
It was like $8 on Amazon.
There you go.
And then I looked at Jackie. I was like, "You want to see me save $60-$70 in labor?"
Yeah.
And I just popped out the fucking glove box and changed out the air filter. And I was like, "Ta-da! I just saved us $70."
When I had a Camaro, it was way easier. You just pulled the weather strip in the. It was actually in a very easier spot. It was under. It was in. You accessed it from the engine bay. You just pulled the weather strip up and put it in.
The weird thing about your Camaro though was that the battery was in the trunk, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, because it had room up front, but the nodes were up front.
Oh.
That is a satisfying. That is something you do enjoy, the air filters.
Yeah.
Because it's actually also doubles up as it makes, if you do it in a public, if you actually go, like, say, buy, like, the Fram filter from Walmart, and you actually do either one or both, if any older guy is going to walk up to you and look at you like, you know what the fuck, like, you could fix their car.
Yeah, he's gonna respect the fuck out of you.
No, just even if you put, like, windshield washer fluid in your car, they all stare at you like, ooh, that is a beaut. What year is that? And it's just a Corolla. It was more prevalent with the Camaro because they see me pulling the thing off. They think something's wrong. I was like, no, just putting it. I was like, oh, that's good maintenance on that.
What was it? I had to replace my windshield wipers one time back when I had a a '99 Honda Accord.
Yeah.
I'm in these streets. You date a Latina long enough, you wind up with a Honda.
There you go.
I was replacing the windshield wipers on it in the Walmart parking lot, and some dude was just looking at me, just like shaking his head up and down, like, yeah, look at you go, I'm proud of you. Yeah. The kind of things I never heard from my father. I'm proud of you.
Anything you do in your car that's simple, like changing a tire or...
Yeah, I remember, what was it, one time, who was I with? I was with Peter and a bunch of other people one time, and he was trying to drift his fucking Lexus in a parking lot and blew out his tire. And there was like 4 of us there, and like nobody knew how to change the tire. And I was like, Jesus Christ, are any of us really fucking men right now?
No, the
But
answer
this
is
was
no.
like senior year of high school.
Did
so.
any of you get the? How'd you get the
We
tire?
wound up because well, first off, we didn't know where his spare was. It was underneath his trunk.
Yeah.
And then Peter's like 120 pounds soaking wet, so he couldn't get that nut off that had the tire bolted down to the trunk. So once we finally got that
How big was
off,
the nut? Mine is just plastic.
I think it was an older Lexus, so it was
So
like,
what did you? There was like a screw involved with it?
yeah, so it was like there was a threaded stem where the tire was sitting on, and there was a nut
You
that
didn't
was
see.
screwed
You didn't
down
see
to
like the manual jack that they put by the side for you to undo most of that stuff.
No, I don't think any of us used common sense to get that fucking nut off that way. We were all sitting there trying to screw it off with our hands until eventually we got it loose and got the tire off. And then no one knew where to put the jack underneath the frame of the car to lift it up the right way, but we eventually figured it out. I think someone looked up a YouTube video and we were on our way from there.
Or like when you and your boys are trying to like watch a pay-per-view or some sports stream, but none of you are too cheap to buy it. You're the hero who finds the link that works. It's another satisfying thing. That could be applied to your 20s. When in your 20s, you're more likely to be like, "No, man, I'm going to fucking
Go to Wing House.
We're all gonna pool." Yeah, you have like actually more of like we're gonna pool to pay it. Whereas you get older, it's like I don't want to pay for this.
Yeah, you could just go to Wing House, get yourself a 10-piece boneless wing.
Yeah.
For like $11 and get a beer or two and enjoy the fights. That's how I used to do it.
Yeah.
I wasn't really
watching like getting through like actually 2 days of football, like in my 20s, is like, oh, this is a waste of time. Now if you do it as you're older, or now that you're dad, it's like, oh man, that this is actually an accomplishment.
Yeah.
This actually took work.
Well, what is it?
I sat here from noon and sometimes 9 for an international game. I sat here till 11:30 at night, and then now it's October, and I took a glance at the football game. Shout out to YouTube TV for when the Sunday night game.
$4.
No, when the Sunday night game is on and the ALCS was on last night, you can have both games on the same TV.
I'm contemplating investing in that because like I had the projector in my room, so like when I watch TV on that, I can only watch one game at a time.
Yeah, it does that. That's not even like a Sunday ticket thing, because that's just for regular. It does it for regular TV too, and college football.
For your viewing pleasure.
Yeah, college football is kind of iffy because they still don't let you fully pick They don't let you pick the NFL games, but because you kind of have to like button down, like go down to see all the combinations.
Yeah.
The 4:00 games is where it's at.
Yeah, I would imagine
because there's only
there's only 4 games.
Because there's only 4 games on, so one of the channels doesn't have to be red zone. Because they're from like the afternoon slate of games at 1. It's the 3 games I want to see,
and then red zone, so you can keep up with everything else in fantasy.
And then once 4 hits, I think they have like 4 games on at the max.
I think it's 3.
No, they've been having 4. It was 3, so it was like you didn't even need. I would have red zone on in the corner just so like in case I missed a scoring plan any of them. But now with the 4, now with that, it's just fuck red zone. Just have all 4 in at once.
Yeah, might as well, dude.
Yes, it's a truly great thing.
It's like an orgasm for your eyes as a sports fan. Is that 4 box on YouTube TV?
Yes.
They used to. Well, I mean, I think it. Well, no, since it's on YouTube TV only. Because I was gonna say, I know it used to be a Sunday ticket thing. Because when you'd have Direct TV and all that.
Yeah, they had the Octo box that Red Zone tries to go to, but that's way too much.
Well, yeah, Octo, that 8 screens.
That's way too. 4 is probably 3. I like better than anything because it's like, well, these are the 3 I actually want to watch. And then Red Zone, I can just like glance at it every time there's a scoring play because I'm not that interested.
Yeah, that's the one good thing about going like to a restaurant like a Buffalo Wild Wings or a Hooters on a Sunday.
Just sit in front of the one game you want and kind of
just peer around the other screen, see what's going on.
Yeah, but then that's like what, $20 for you every Sunday. It ends up actually.
Well, it's not gonna have to be an every Sunday thing. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but if you want to watch not a market team, you think you're saving money, but then you realize you paid the same throughout the year.
Well, yeah, $20 for what is it? 18 weeks.
You would have just.
That's what, $360.
That's the same price.
That's the same price.
Sunday Ticket. Shout out to Sunday Ticket.
Yeah, 20 times 18.
Speaking of
360.
Kenobi, out the way. Damn dog. But speaking of the games, how Jags and Saints.
Derek Carr is
Mid.
Derek Carr. People were like, "Oh, let's get him an elite defense and a top 10
Trevor
offensive line."
Lawrence has like the same, like we've talked about, has the same stat line every game. I don't know if he's good. He's just a game manager. He doesn't ever do anything flashy. And there were 7 games in, he's put up 1,643 yards.
How many touchdowns? How many picks?
He's got 8 TDs to 3 picks. He's not a flashy quarterback.
No, because what was it? Last year he had, only 22 touchdowns, like 7 picks on the season last year?
Yeah, there's 7 games in. He puts up about 230. He's average.
Perfectly average. And that's all you really need in Jacksonville. They're, 5-2 right now?
Yeah, they got an okay defense. Although he leads them in rushing, they're not. This team is weird because they don't do any one thing particularly well.
Calvin Ridley kind of just disappeared too.
Yeah, like their running's okay. They're just like a perfectly good team. They just play balanced football.
And then, what was it? Fucking
And
Derek Carr, like we said, is everyone's. Did you see that
He
they're
didn't
talking
come-
shit about Chris Olave?
yeah,
How he's running the wrong routes and stuff like that,
yeah.
and that's why Derek Carr's not performing well because his receivers aren't on the same page as him.
It's his second. He had Devontae Adams a year ago, and it's somehow that couldn't work.
It's never the quarterback's fault. They always want to blame someone else.
Yeah.
Especially when they spend big money on a quarterback.
And they got Jameis on the bench, but they're not going to replace Jameis. My Packers lost. They suck. They had a chance at the. They're the weirdest team because it's almost like they do not start fast.
Well, that's like the same way with like the Bucs this week. Like,
Because we're putting up 7. Like we're going into the. Because even it wasn't like the Broncos were playing prevent defense. They were only up 9-0.
yeah.
That's not a. You're still a ball game. We're just starting insanely slow for some reason. Like we do enough in the first half to where it's outside the Lions game to where every game's a ball game in the second half.
Yeah.
There's more. Jordan Love has like in the second half he'll look amazing.
Until like that last drive of the game.
Yeah, and then he's just weirdly forcing a fucking deep ball to receivers that just can't get separation. Because I'm watching this over and over, and they're just running the same thing. Let's run a fly route to all like Dobbs and Jaden Reed and Hicks, even though none of these guys can get separation on a fucking slant or a zag. Somehow they're gonna get a step on everyone. They don't. They get no separation.
Well,
There's no like intricacy to their route. It's just they're running straight.
They just have a basic route tree.
Yeah, but they're not like running the route. Trying to fake them
no
in.
double moves or anything.
Yeah, it's just it almost looks like they're just running straight out, and the defense knows that.
Mm.
Unless like it's a designed post or like it's a designed zag, they're not going to do anything. They're just too young. They're still young receivers.
It's like with the Bucs. I was watching the game this weekend. We forced 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
3 fumbles. Desmond Ridder had 2. Or did he have all 3 of their fumbles?
He had like 2 in the red zone, right?
Yeah, 1 on the 1 yard line,
He had
and then
no
Antoine
picks.
Winfield knocked 1 out of. No picks, no touchdowns. Just
Had
a rushing touchdown.
Had fumbles.
And then. But Baker Mayfield just trying to force the ball to like Kate Otten on that drive.
I told you, Baker in his mind thinks he's. Baker in his mind has like almost like a little man complex. He still thinks. He thinks he's like fucking Favre in his mind.
It's just like he had Rashad White on the little dump pass, and that would have gotten us the first down instead of forcing the ball to Kate Otten. We could have probably had a better chance we still had 2 timeouts at the time. There was still over 3 minutes left in the game. We could have gone down. We could have kicked the field goal then. Our defense stopped them on that next drive, which is what led us to tie the game on a field goal before giving up the game-winning field goal
Should have re-signed
afterwards.
Jameis.
But nah, Jameis really
Baker
isn't the answer.
Baker's not the answer either.
I didn't want Baker.
But nobody wanted to go to the Bucs without that whole, unless like it was Brady leaving the whole squad intact with Gronk.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we could have tried Mariota and seen if that worked.
That would have been as bad as Baker.
I guess it's just
Yes, could try Derek Carr.
no, because we would have had to trade for him and we didn't have the cap space.
Yeah.
That-
You guys got a perfectly average team.
Like I said at the beginning of the year, I only expected them to get 6 wins, but
But that actually might be good. No, Falcons got 4. That might not be good enough to win the NFC
it won't
South
win the
this year.
division.
7 will win the division.
Like, you could possibly go 8-9 and win this division. That's what we did last year.
Yeah. Let's see. The Ravens smacked the Lions. The Lions are not.
The Lions are returning to form.
Not even. It's just have they played? I think we talked about this. Have they played a good team?
No, I think that was the first real
They
team.
wa-
Other than the Chiefs that they lucked out with on week
yeah.
1.
Packers aren't good. Chiefs didn't have Kelsey.
Or
They
Chris
lost to the
Jones.
Seahawks. They beat the Falcons. I mean, the first week was almost like it didn't happen. Everyone else, they've just been beating up. They don't even have they have a very favorable schedule too. So
They have a rather weak schedule.
the
this
only
year,
real games I could see them losing are the Chargers and the Cowboys. Everything else you could see them winning all of those games.
so. Yeah.
It's just this is going to be this could just be a product of your soft schedule. Because they literally have only 2 games that you could see them being the underdog in is Cowboys and Chargers.
Yeah, and they might not even be considered the underdog versus the Chargers with the way they've been
Yeah.
playing lately.
But those are the only 2 I could see them losing. But I don't think it's back to the ways. I just don't think they're ready for full strength, the good teams.
Well, they're still developing. Their top receivers, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sam Laporta. They're
Yeah, but to
rookie
put
tight
up
ends.
6 is
Yeah,
they're a long way from contending for a Super Bowl. Because that just means they're not anywhere near.
They're a playoff caliber team, but not a deep run playoff team.
Yeah, they're gonna get bounced by the Niners or the Eagles in the divisional round, and that's
If they don't get bounced in the wild card round
That's
by
true.
a team that comes into the playoffs hot.
That's true.
Because then, the next game was Raiders-Bears, which
It's a laugher.
I don't think anyone was really watching that game unless you're a hardcore fan of either one of those teams.
Bears showed up. Tyson Bagent looked good.
Against Brian Hoyer, journeyman quarterback, who's never really it was supposed to be another revenge game for Brian Hoyer because he played on the Bears.
Browns just in the Colts. Browns kept getting a lot of penalties from the refs at the end of that game to win it. They just got a pass interference or roughing the passer. There was one pass interference where the ball was overthrown. It was an uncatchable ball, but they still called the PI because they're oh, he has the arm, but it's the ball still has to be catchable.
Yeah. Well, that was in that Bucs-Falcons game, man. All those holding calls and missed holding calls, too. There was a lot of missed ones, too. The officiating was really bad this weekend.
Yes, there are too many ticky-tack calls.
What was it? Patriots upset the Bills, which I don't think anyone saw that coming, but it was a last.
The Bills are just inconsistent.
Don't worry, they'll drop 50 on the Bucs on Thursday.
Bills are what the Lions will be in 2 years. Just an inconsistent team that will lose games they shouldn't, but then blow out the Dolphins.
Yeah. Well, what was it? And then after that is...
Oh, we got to talk Chiefs Chargers. I have a stat for you, and it involves our girl. Did you know
that Travis Kelce is averaging 108 yards per game, and then that she's been attending, and then 46 yards per game that she's not attending?
Yeah,
I saw that. I mentally remembered
it's
that
he sees the touchdowns and he says mine. He's in his red era. Your hate has been unjustified because all she's done is help him win.
Yeah, he looks at the defense. He's been rejuvenated. He looks at them, scores a touchdown. He's like, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22.
He's piping her down at night and then just having the game of his life. You see the little
the
handshake?
cringy handshake between her and
then
Brittany Mahomes?
and then one day did a chest bump on one of them.
No,
I'm not gonna lie, sex tape between her and Brittany Mahomes would be really hot. Because it would be the meme of the smaller girl getting picked up to the wall, Lauren Phillips and Alice Marchesi for all of you listening, and Taylor would be picking up Brittany to the wall because she's a lot taller.
Yeah,
it'd be kind of hot. She's got,
and you could put that under MILF category since Brittany's got kids.
And Taylor is in MILF age.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's 30. I mean, I guess it could fill that category.
Yeah.
And then
hot and mean.
Hot and mean.
You fucking slut. It would be because fucking Patrick Mahomes, the plot would be because Mahomes is not throwing it to Kelsey.
Why isn't your husband throwing to my boyfriend, you fucking whore?
And then she just like holds Brittany down and starts choking her, and that's where it goes from there.
Mm-hmm.
Swifties, hit us up if you think this is a great idea. There's gonna be some games we ignore, and you'll know. Just Commanders, Giants, snooze. This was a battle of. This is a mid-off. This is a battle of who
Who really wants to lose that division?
who doesn't even like. Well, no, but the Eagles are winning that division.
No, I know, but who wants to finish last place in the division?
Steelers.
What happened with Daniel Jones? Why is Tyrod Taylor their starting quarterback the
I
last
think
2 weeks?
he got injured, and
I know it was an injury, but like I didn't know it was that serious.
And the way he's been playing, he can probably stay out as long as he wants.
No, they're probably gonna let him sit out until the bye.
Yeah. Steelers, Rams, like what a weird fucking. Steelers have to be the worst 4-2 team. Kenny Pickett's average.
I don't know. I'd have to say the worst 4-win team's Atlanta.
Yeah, but them in Atlanta are like, it's like Atlanta's offense at least looks like it's fun at times. The Steelers' offense is like.
Well, it really ramped up this week against the Rams.
It's literally like
looks pretty good.
The Steelers' offense looks like a guy playing Madden and just picking what Coach Madden tells you. Like there's no.
Well, why do you think there was fire Matt Canada chance at the start of the year? His offense has been the same offense since Ben Roethlisberger's last couple of years.
But you need playmakers to run a very fucking bland offense.
Well, I mean, they're starting to get that because George Pickens is healthy now, so they're starting to. His chemistry with Kenny Pickett's really developing. You got Najee Harris who can still run the ball, and then who was it? Jalen Warren's that rookie running back.
He's like the old guy stuck in the past, like Red Foreman from that '70s show. He's convinced if it's properly executed. Nothing
can beat this offense if it's executed the way
it's
what was it?
Nothing. If properly executed, the power sweep is indefensible. He's just convinced he's gonna run like the passing game version of the power, whatever the fuck he's running. It's like his power sweep to the passing game. Seahawks, Cardinals.
That game should have been more of a blowout than it was.
Seahawks won, but Seahawks aren't that great of a team. Just Cardinals aren't.
The Cardinals just can't stop beating themselves. It feels like.
Yeah, but they're not. No one expected anything of them.
What was it? Did Josh Dobbs even throw?
They play
yards.
They play the Ravens next week. If there was I would fucking and it's at home. Cardinals are gonna win that game.
Against who?
The Ravens, because the Cardinals, for whatever reason, show up to play good teams. They're frisky with them for like at least a bit. Them and San Fran were close to the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And they beat Dallas.
What was it? Josh Dobbs threw 30 fucking passes and only completed 19.
But there's a game, because this also fits the Ravens mold, that they'll lose a game, and it'll be like Lamar, like, we just got to get it together, man. We're better than this.
I'm not a running back, I swear.
The Cardinals, if there was hammer the money line responsibly. And what was the last game on schedule?
Dolphins, Eagles. Another game where I'm telling you that the refs really, felt like they were favoring a team.
The brotherly shove
It's going to wind up being banned because it's only really benefiting one team.
But everyone else tries to do it, but nobody else can do it. And everyone keeps saying, well, it's because Jalen can bench 500 pounds, but
squat 600.
No, but when I'm watching the play happen, they're picking
him up and just carrying him.
They're just throwing his body weight.
Well, what was it? I saw a video one time where they did a breakdown of it, side by side, where it was saying when you watch other teams do it, they're just trying to smash right into the D line like you would on a regular QB sneak.
They don't know to lift their quarterback up, right?
Well, no, it's more of when you see Philly do it, you see their offensive linemen almost like get down, like lay flat and create like a ramp of sorts.
But then the two guys behind him, like Jalen's not even moving into it; he's being lifted.
Yeah, you'll see. That's why they have a tight end back there. They have Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, he's
picking him up and literally like tossing him over the line.
It's gonna someone's eventually, if you want to get rid of it, like fake an injury. If you start faking injuries on the defensive side of the ball, with the NFL being as big as on player safety, then you'll get rid. That's all you have to do is start faking injuries. Just if you're like a bad team and you want to like help the NFL, just like let one of your best players get Chase Young to be injured for like the rest of the game, and then they'll just get rid of it because that's the biggest thing they can do is player safety.
Well, I wonder, because you remember when the Wildcat offense was supposed to be this thing that was going to take over?
That was never going to be a thing. That was developed 1 year
for Miami.
for Miami, but Michael Vick even had a quote that he was the Wildcat before the Wildcat.
Yeah.
The Wildcat was just what Lamar runs.
Well, I was wondering if like the competition committee is just going to be like, no.
The Wildcat was. They've never banned the Wildcat. The Wildcat is just like, it was a fun offense for a year, but it's not sustainable because it's like, well, what are we doing? Having the running back play quarterback? There wasn't that many, like, this is just like everyone hates on it, but it's almost like a rugby. They're saying it's like a rugby scrum, but I don't watch rugby to know that it's a rugby scrum.
No, because in a scrum, they're circled around each other. It's just more of like a fight for the ball, not a fight for...
It's just every time on 4th and 1, if it's 4th and 1 and they don't go for it, that stadium would fucking motherfuck Sirianni.
Yeah. Well, what was it? I mean, if you do want to compare it to a rugby scrum, that would honestly work. That's probably why it works out so well in Philly's favor. Because Jordan Mailata, their left tackle or left guard, he was a rugby player back in Australia. So, I mean, he would know the ins and outs of how that would work.
Yeah. It's just... Because when I'm watching, it's literally just being pushed at the end. Unless they do something where they say, like, if unless they start whistling Hurts' forward momentum has stopped and you can't count. Because the Chiefs Chiefs did something like that with Kelsey where he was up in the air.
Yeah.
And then they just realized, push him in because it's just the brotherly shove.
Yeah.
I think the only team that got close to doing it right was Washington. They put a tight end in as quarterback.
Yeah, Logan Thomas.
Yeah,
he used to play quarterback in college.
But the way Philly lines up, it's just like, how has nobody just... You can see what's happening on TV even if you're a fan. It's just everyone's getting low and they're just picking the quarterback up and pushing him. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't see it getting past this year with all the...
Don't let it get to 4th... I think the only big thing is just don't let it get to 4th and 1 because you're not going to do it on 4th. Although
even when you see Philly do it, they get 2 to 3 yards on it.
I want to see a chaotic game because I was looking at how many yards they get. Sometimes when they push him forward, they get almost 3.
Yeah.
I'm like, their whole offense could just be the brotherly shove.
You could just do that 4 straight plays.
Because they're gonna get at least 3 yards every play, and then they just go for it on 4th down. You almost don't have to pass with that.
No.
I think that would be the chaotic thing if like another team figured out how to do it and they really sucked. And they decided, you know what, nothing's stopping us from just running this whole fucking game. Can you imagine that? Like, watching that shit on TV?
Oh my god, that game would get the worst ratings probably ever. The
meltdown. Oh, and to circle back to Taylor Swift, she was wearing a sweater. I think she's pregnant.
I saw you post that on Twitter. Honestly,
someone said she had a mixed drink, but maybe that's just juice.
I don't... It would be hilarious if she did wind up being pregnant, just for our...
Yeah, but then you can call her twins the Tater Tots.
Yeah.
All the other Swifties would have to catch up to her to have other kids, but yeah. But no, like, yeah, but that was...
It was a loose-fitting sweater, too. It wasn't, like, nice and tight. It was a bigger sweater.
True. But that was this week's... That was this week's games. Miami didn't look great again against a good team.
Well, did you see that PI... Not PI, but that roughing the passer call against Christian Wilkins?
Yeah.
That wasn't roughing the passer. He took one step, let off the push, but it's in Philly. They're in the Kelly Greens, and you want to see...
Yeah, they're like, well, we emphasize player safety.
He pulled off the push on him.
Yeah.
I've seen him get pushed more on the brotherly shove than on that roughing the passer call.
The only thing I could see from the ref standpoint is, even though he took, like, not even 2 steps, it was like, I could almost see from the ref standpoint, well, why? They're like, okay, you still didn't have the momentum, but what in your momentum told you you had to put your hands up?
Slow himself down to keep him from running through him and getting that roughing the passer call.
Yeah, but even then, you see the ball out. I could also see the refs like, well, you have momentum. Why couldn't you have just veered left?
Player safety. It's either he stops his momentum against him or he tries to cut too hard and he snaps his own ankle.
Well, player safety doesn't apply to the defense.
Of course not.
Yeah. But we got Game 6 of the NLCS tonight. The Phillies and the D-backs.
And Game 7 of the ALCS.
Yes. Tomorrow night,
Rangers.
right?
No, that's tonight. Oh. Tonight at 8.
Why do they keep putting this fucking game on at 4?
Well, it's at 5.
Why do they keep putting it on at 5? This is ridiculous.
I don't know. It makes no sense
just
to me.
Because
Which is weird, because it's in Philly, too, so it's going to be a 5 o'clock Eastern time start.
Like the NBA and the NHL do 7-game series at this point all the time, and it's understood this game will be this day. It's like, and then they want to put double headers on for some reason. It's like, why couldn't you just make the Rangers tomorrow night?
I don't know. I feel like it's just they think they can, double dip on views because once that
I
game
mean,
ends, you can.
I think it's because they're not used to like high ratings for a baseball game, and they're used to like the real fucking seam heads out there to just like, I'll fucking watch this game at like 1 in the afternoon, just like they used to do in the '30s. That's when the real baseball came on, 1 o'clock in the middle of a week when can watch it.
Never forget good old '30s baseball, where everything was just talked about on radio. You couldn't see it unless you were at the ball game.
I have a theory that baseball's never been an interesting sport. It was only interesting in the '30s, '40s, and '50s because it played well on radio. Because it was like more because of the way the game plays. It's almost like a game that sounds better hearing it than it is. Whereas like football,
The physicality of it makes it worth watching.
it's more watchable than like TV ruined baseball. And then like the NBA got hot in the '80s, and it's like, well, fuck. Now we got these two way more entertaining sports, and Hulk Hogan's ripping off a fucking shirt and doing a leg drop to people. How can baseball compete?
And that's probably why they were getting so rampant with steroids back in the 80s.
Yeah, because people want to see dingers.
Well, yeah, it was to try and compete with the other sports leagues that were picking up in TV ratings.
Yeah,
They wanted to compete.
That's the only thing you can do in baseball is long ball go bird.
Long ball go.
That's the only
bird.
thing that plays well on TV is like nobody wants to watch this. Well, I guess if they're getting a lot of hits and there's like frantic runs, but nobody wants to watch like one guy get a fucking squeezed a line drive into center field and just inning's over, runner on first.
Yeah. And baseball's like it's an atmosphere sport. You have to be in the stadium to enjoy it, or just be like really obsessed with the sport for some reason. Because like I'll enjoy watching baseball in the stadium. I can watch a game here or there on TV, but I'm not like obsessive to where I have to watch every single game. I have to follow along with my own box score at home or at the game. It's just like I said, it's an atmosphere game. You have to be like in the stadium and feel just everything, the energy of the stadium.
True. Yeah, or it's got to be a big game, and it's got to be a big game on TV.
Yeah,
Because game 1 fucking 43 of the regular season just doesn't.
It just doesn't hit as hard.
NFL, even NBA has an issue where it's like I'm not watching to the postseason.
Yeah, 82 games is too much to watch.
It's like I'll watch the opening day, I'll watch Christmas Day,
I'll
watch the All-Star
game,
and then maybe at the end the play-in games, but it's like there's way too many fucking games, and it's like they're not, and then like midway through the season, once like they know who the one seed, they know who what generally the playoff setting is by February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About a week after the All-Star break, I mean, you'll know what teams are in the playoffs and into the play-in tournament. It's not a lot of drama coming down to the last 3 games of a season, really. Most times.
True. But yeah, but that was sports.
That's our sports wrap-up. Speaking of wrapping up, I don't know. I want to see if you had something to rip off.
How was your weekend? Besides football? I think we covered this. Just nothing?
I mean, did some grocery shopping. I didn't do anything oddly satisfying. I don't have a pressure washer yet. And I said I drained the pool out, so I didn't get to clean it.
Have you ever seen these Ask Reddit comments?
No, I don't really follow along Reddit that much.
I was gonna steal from them for content.
Oh, go for it.
You start a sex toy company. What's your slogan?
Ooh, what would be your slogan?
Harder the cock, harder the juice.
I mean, but how does that work with sex toys? Because I mean, they're rubber. They can only be so hard.
You can have one that squeezes something out.
I mean, marketing teams take weeks to develop a slogan for stuff like that. So if it fits, I sit.
What modern food trend can you not wait to die?
I don't know. I don't even know what a modern food trend
Like
is.
avocado toast, or
That's never gonna die. People have become.
or
too
people that
obsessed with
use the word like, oh look, I hacked this to make.
Oh, this food hack.
Yeah, this food hack. to
Look,
where,
I stacked 25 slices of cheese, coated it in panko, and deep fried it. Look at it.
look at it. It's just a big glob of It's just a big glob of fried cheese.
It's like a mozzarella stick, but on crack, and it'll clog your
Are
arteries
they
before you're
are
halfway
they
through it.
substitute something weird into like?
I have to use almond milk because I have lactose people in my home.
I swear to God, guys, it's such a big hack. Yeah.
You want to see me save 15 calories per serving by switching from regular milk to oat milk?
Someone's like fancy restaurants that serve street tacos and charge $18 for it. That is an annoying trend where that we're now like we're gentrifying like common man food. It's like I want to see the day where like a bowl of grits is like $12 because someone
$13.50 if you want cheese.
Because someone puts like endive and like chives in them, and look, guys, I upscaled it. I upscaled grits for you guys.
I took a poor family classic, and I made it bougie so I can charge you $15 to put cinnamon on your oatmeal.
That's how I feel about pizza sometimes.
That's a thing. Like, you could go to the fucking store and grab yourself a pre-made crust if you don't know how to make your own dough.
Yeah.
Some pizza sauce, cheese, and you can get whatever toppings you want. And you could spend like $7 on that pizza, and you're already getting better quality stuff than Little Caesars. So don't tell me you can get $6 Little Caesars pizza and be saving money, but you'll be getting fresher things from the store, better quality.
You are now becoming the dad that we don't need Pizza Hut. We got pizza at home.
It's not even that. I don't even care for like takeout pizza. I like finding like little pizza shops.
Yeah, but they charge more than the big chains though. Because then every little like shop acts like they're God's. Every little restaurant is apparently God's gift of food.
Well, that's like because growing up there was this pizza place we used to go to. It was called Morty's. It's over there off of Massachusetts.
Yes, Morty's.
And they had what was it? An 18-inch pizza, and like an 18-inch like cheese pizza, without like extra toppings on it. I want to say it was like $13.
But now they're all like $19.
No, not even. Like, I'm sure if I look it up, it's still relatively cheap. Like maybe $14-15.
Just a cheese, or maybe
yeah.
The worst place that's taken poor people food and made it. They didn't even make it better as McDonald's.
No, they just upped the price.
They just upped the price and the same garbage they served. It's like they forgot what their appeal was. It's like, yes, I can get $1 double cheeseburger and a medium fry and a drink.
Yeah, 18-inch cheese pizza at Morty's, $14.49.
Okay, I think if you want to put toppings on it, that's when they want to
That's
go
like
crazy
if you
with
add like if you get like a specialty pizza, but like if you add like toppings to it.
Yeah.
And it's just like $3 for a topping.
I don't like about a lot of these pizza places is the overemphasis on how big the end crust is. Because when I was in Milwaukee, we adopted what was the Chicago, I guess, the bar and like the circle pizza where they cut into squares. But
I thought that was Detroit style pizza.
Well, no, Detroit is just they make it. It's like Sicilian pizza where they just make it like as a rectangle. But this is a circle pizza that they cut the circle pie into squares, but it's more of like a flat crust. But I always liked it because I thought it was better because they didn't emphasize that you had to have this big ass crust at the end.
No, you get that thin, crisp crust. That's good.
But some of these pizza
Because what is it? I hate to keep going back to Morty's, but like that was the one I had growing up, and it wasn't like overemphasized crust. It wasn't like big slices like on the end piece of the crust, and it was nice. It was thin. It was crispy. Yeah. Didn't have a huge flop to it.
Yeah. I like how this pod has devolved to dad talk. There's probably some fucking listener out there packing a skull Copenhagen. They probably live in Georgia.
Talking about how his team's 2-0 against the Baja Bottom boys.
Yeah. Just wearing his Columbia shirt.
Wearing his Sperry's, looking like he's going out for a weekend trip on the boat that he doesn't have.
In reality, he's just he's probably going to fly fish in a ravine. He's still a good dad, though. Shout out to all the good dads.
Hey.
You know, I was seeing, speaking of dip, you've seen the things where they like make almost like the modern candy cigarette version of the dip where it's like coffee dip, where they take coffee, it's like just a caffeine dip and it's like supposed to just be like an oral stimulation.
I've done that before.
Is it any good?
Well, because what was it? I heard about it from friends that I've had that were in the military, they used to do that as like a pick-me-up for straight caffeine to help wake them up when they were in the
But I've
trenches
seen
and stuff like that.
some things sell it as like a alternative to dipping.
Well, I mean, because you have the addictive feature to
Sure.
caffeine as you do to tobacco, but like I heard from like people that were in the military that they did that as like a pick-me-up because you would get just that straight concentration of caffeine and it would help wake you up better when you're out in the field. So I tried it a couple times. I mean, if you don't like coffee, it's not for you.
Coffee's fucking amazing. People who don't like coffee are weird.
Well, I mean, like especially if you're like one of those people that needs like 40 grams of sugar in your fucking iced coffee to be able to enjoy it.
I can go both ways. I'm by caffeine.
You're by caffeine curious.
It's like everyone who tells me they don't like coffee because someone's like, it tastes like mud water. I'm like, well, yeah, that's because it was just ground this morning.
Yeah.
Let's go to our favorite game, comparing things to porn stars. Let's do a week. What week are we in? 7?
This is week 7 of the NFL.
Week 7 powering. We're about mid-season. We're halfway through football season. It's sad.
That's really depressing.
Let's go by the top teams in each division first. Okay, let's go Kansas City. They're what?
I mean, I'll probably stick with the ranking that I gave them preseason.
Hold on, let me go to the Pornhub
stars
top.
Well, I mean, you could just go to Pornhub.com and go to the...
Yeah, but this is easier. I don't have to go through the buttons and look like a top 800 stars. The fuck's Jane Wild?
No, that was it. It's just sometimes it gives you promoted ones they're trying to...
Okay, so, look. Things have even... Okay.
But yeah, what I was going to say with number 1 for the
Chiefs, they're a Bella Danger.
They're still a Bella Danger. That's what I had them at in preseason. It was a Bella Danger. I had the 49ers. I had them listed as Lisa Ann. They're classic. That'll never get old.
What are the Jags? They're like, they do a lot, but it's like, they're Riley Reid. It's like, yes, they're frisky, they're fun. They'll probably lick your asshole every now and then, but it's like, there's better porn stars.
There's better out there.
They have a lot of hype, but there's better out there. The way the Eagles are built, they're Angela White, big thick bitch.
Detroit's Mia Khalifa. They're a flash in the pan. They're going to be hot for 4 months and then fall off.
Yes. Miami.
Young, hot, up-and-coming coach.
They're Jordi El Nino Pollo.
Why does Miami have to be the first male porn star on the
Because they're a small team.
They're not a small team.
Yeah, but they're like a finesse team. They're finesse. Yes, they can hit you with they hit you with the long ball.
They have big dick energy, but some of the smaller players in the league.
They got big dick energy, but on a little dick body. But they're like a 5'4" guy with a 10-incher. We said Philly. We said Detroit. Top team in the South, Atlanta. It's like
you're kind of surprised they're there, but you're not really because anybody could be them.
Who of the modern stars is like that? Where it's like anybody, you're
surprised they're at where they're at. But
they're Eva Elfie.
Yeah, I was gonna say Eva Elfie.
Isn't she like an OnlyFans model?
No, she's a German porn star.
Where it's like, yeah, she's there, but she almost looks like anyone else.
She's a cookie cutter porn star.
Yeah. And I think we've gone through all the division leaders, right?
Yeah, I want to say we went through.
Let's go.
No, we didn't say Baltimore. Baltimore.
Yeah, I said Angela White.
No, you said Angela White was Philly.
Baltimore, they're Violet Myers.
Violet Myers.
They're always going to be in the top 10, but it's almost like you'll kind of forget that they're there at times.
That's actually pretty accurate.
And then let's go to the.
And then let's just say who our teams are as porn stars, since we went through
let's finish the playoff rankings of like the rest of Pittsburgh. Who's Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh, they're consistent. They haven't had a
Corey
losing
Chase.
record. Yeah.
They're classic. Take it up the ass, but keep on trucking. And then the next two are Cleveland and Buffalo. Buffalo it's like someone you expected. They're Autumn Falls. You expect them to be bigger than they are. It's like, yes, people who are fans know who they are, but maybe not casuals know who they are all the time. They're the Autumn Falls of the NFL.
I mean, I don't know. Autumn Falls has never disappointed me.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but you'd expect them to be like a lot bigger than they are.
I guess.
Or it's because you know it, but you're in the circle, so you have to talk to people out of the circle. And what's Cleveland?
Cleveland, a team that's not surprising where they're at, but also a little surprising because, you know...
Emily Willis?
No, because Emily Willis is really consistent.
Lena Paul?
Lena Paul. I guess you could say Lena Paul. I mean, she hasn't really done anything good recently, but, like, she did that one thing with Jason Love, so, like, it got her popular, just, like, bringing Deshaun Watson in on a fully guaranteed contract.
Yeah.
Made Cleveland the talk of the town.
And she, too, likes a thumb in her ass.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the roundup... Holy fuck, Tampa's... Oh, we can talk about... Who's Dallas? Or...
Tampa's relevant?
You guys are in the
They're
seventh...
the seventh seed. Holy shit.
Who's Seattle? It's Seattle, Dallas, and Tampa. Who's Seattle?
Seattle, good fan base, almost always make a playoff push. Defense is, you know, the D is really the thing that makes them. So Johnny Sins.
Yeah. And Dallas, they're always going to disappoint
Dallas has got a huge fan base that always just will break your heart in the end.
Adriana Chechik.
Adriana Chechik.
And
broke her back like Dallas breaks their fans' hearts every year.
They always get hit by balls. And Tampa, it's like they're there, but you're shocked that they're even there. Sarah J.
Yeah, 'cause I have no idea who that is.
She's an older porn star who, for whatever reason, she's not the best looking, but she gets it done. Like, I would take, like, I could be doing worse things than watching a Sarah...
I was going to say Elsa Jean because, you know, a team that was hot for a while because of Tom Brady for those 3 years.
Yeah, but they're like Sarah J now.
Yeah, I guess you could say
it's like, yeah, when they're on, it's like, I'm not disappointed, but I could be doing a lot worse.
Yeah, I could be doing better. I could be doing a lot worse.
Yes, that's our favorite game, comparing things. And who are the Packers are just a disappointment. Where it's like they're young. I almost feel like they're young, but they're still on, like they're on the rise. They just need time to blossom.
Oh, that'd be Leanna Lovings.
I have no idea who that is.
Exactly. She's a young porn star that's on the rise because she's in the top 20.
Really? Okay, they're Leanna Lovings, top 25.
Yeah, there you go, top 25.
Or Sky Bree, one of the two.
Yeah, I guess you could say Skylar Vox.
She's like top 30.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's comparing things to porn stars.
Got any wild conspiracies to talk about?
I have never. That's Devin's thing.
Any conspiracy you want to take a Gaza at? Disavow. We're pro-Israel.
Damn, that's an explosive take. I don't know. Have you heard the conspiracy that like buses are in their own like plane of existence? Because you can fit more people on a bus, but they fit in the same lane of road as a car or a truck.
They're just bigger. They're just longer too.
They're longer too, but I mean,
they
still fit just as wide in a regular car lane, but you can fit so much more across the road.
That's just because the empty is hollowed out.
Yeah.
That's because they're taking. It's not like you don't have thick seats on a bus, and some of the buses are set up where the front part is just a bench.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I don't really know any conspiracies. I overheard that one from someone.
It's also like a school bus is just cramming as many people into a longer vehicle as much. It's also they're longer.
Yeah.
Buses are insanely longer.
Yeah. Okay. What I heard was that like you could fit more people widely across in a bus than you can in a car, but it takes up the same amount of space width-wise on the road as any vehicle. I'm
also beginning to realize that our capitalistic society might fall in on itself. Because it almost seems that we're inventing more shit that needs we're inventing more things that have to be rebought in a few years than ever before, and it's becoming a problem for the people who invented it. They invented something that needs a constant rebuy rate that we've never really done before. Like how we rebuy the phones every 2 years.
Yeah. And
then they had to do the shit where, guess what? The battery's fixed in, so when it dies, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Or you could just replace it for like $50.
And I was gonna say, I remember back in the day, I used to be able to just fucking order a new battery on Amazon. And
you see it with cars every time I get my oil changed. They're like almost pressuring you within 18 months to rebuy another car.
Yeah, just trade your vehicle in.
It's like trade your vehicle in.
You've broken even on it, so now when you trade it in, you're not going to have any dead end at the end of your rate, but you're not really getting anything for your trade-in.
And it's like they need your vehicle back, because then they have to... it's a big Ponzi fucking scheme that doesn't... I think if you actually sat down and realized it doesn't make any fucking sense, it's just a way to control people.
It's just their way of getting new cars off the lot, because they get more money in commission for new car sales than they do used car sales.
The Great Depression, actually, when you think about that, is wild. the fact that like the economy we have, it's not like.
It's not too far off from
Well,
what it
no, we
was
weren't.
before that,
No,
right?
but it's not based on like something natural. We found like, hey, if we use up all the oil in the ground, it goes away.
Yeah.
We invented the fucking system, and
Yeah,
then
we invented the system for the dollar. Like,
yeah, it's like if you have a fucking chores chart at home and somehow somehow for whatever reason it just like whatever game you invented for your kids breaks and then you're all your kids are poor together even though you could have just said, oh well, you have control over the game.
yeah.
It's just like going to a worldwide depression. Everything costs a fucking $1 million to buy a loaf of bread, and we're just accepting this, even though we have control of it.
Yeah. So and then people will be like, oh, well, it's a supply and demand thing. I mean,
But we control the supply and demand, and we also control the rules of this fucking game. And even if people abuse it, it's like, well, this is a game we fucking invented.
This is
Why? That's actually psychotic when you think about it. The fact that you invented this to like kind of like control supply and demand, and it's essentially supposed to be a way to like put put a value on goods to exchange things besides bartering. And then when the thing crashed, oh, I guess we're all poor together, and businessmen are jumping out of windows, and apparently it took a war to get us out of it because we had to.
yeah, Second World War.
We had to have like something to justify ramping up production again, and then magically everything's fixed. It doesn't really make particularly too much sense.
Yeah.
And then 6 years later, they're inventing crypto to almost mock they're almost reinventing the system that they don't like.
That's what it was, because it was to decentralize banks, right? Because it was decentralize your money so it's not sitting in banks.
It's like crypto. All the crypto did was reinvent currency.
Yeah.
That's all we do every 100 years is we can reinvent shit, and then none of it really makes sense.
Yeah, we were just trying to reestablish the value of the dollar with crypto, because crypto is so much to the dollar, and then if we just convert over to crypto, now crypto is the universal form of currency.
And then we're gonna centralize that,
Mm-hmm.
and then what? 100 years from then, we'll have like some fucking.
Some guy's gonna be like,
We're
what
not
if we make crypto physical? And what if we make it...
Or it's gonna be like crypto, but it's not like the digital universe. It only exists like in the like how crypto exists in the digital. But like, bro, we found a way to harness the metaphorical universe, and then you just have like a completely bullshit coin.
I could pay you this, or I could give you this IOU, and you can just
Because
hold on
even
to
with
that.
crypto, they ended up making a metaverse where it's essentially you're in the Matrix now, which I wouldn't mind. The only dick thing about that universe is if like say, can you imagine if they made that universe and they still put weather conditions in it and decide to let it rain instead of it could just be 69 degrees in this universe.
Nice.
Like it's a totally fictitious universe you're making us live in, and you decided. Can you imagine if they did that and they made and they still decided to make some people poor?
Checks and balances, man. You can't have rich people without poor people.
No, but it would just be like insane if they did that, where it's like, well, you're going to be here, but you're still
We
poor.
could put you in this metaphorical universe that doesn't really exist, but it could be a perfect existence for everyone. But these people, we're gonna continue to make them poor.
That's what I'm hoping. Is like we all get plugged in at once, and then we don't have anyone to unplug us, and then we just end up accepting that as reality.
Well, that's like when people say that the world we live in now is a simulation. Like, this is a pretty shitty simulation. Like, whoever created the program for this simulation needs to be fucking fired.
I mean, what's wrong with it?
Well,
All they did was make a rock and put people.
I know, but if it's a simulation like you were just talking about with a perfect world like a Matrix...
Maybe they have a sense of humor.
I guess. I mean...
It's just like God jerking off to like human suffering. Yeah.
Fuck.
Pray to me. Come on, pray harder.
Come on. I need to hear you. I need to hear you call my name. Say my name! I'm the father because I want you to call me daddy. Say it.
Oh.
No, just like I said, if this is a simulation, it's just a really shitty simulation. Like you said, you could have perfect weather all the time, a nice crisp 69 degrees, like you said, a little breezy.
Yeah, it's like my theory on cars. Like, why don't we just have a gigantic fucking dome over the world that makes it tempered 69 degrees? Because we're already just driving in a car to make it the AC. What if we just put it everywhere? Then you wouldn't need the AC in the car, but then you also wouldn't have a way to then you wouldn't have to fix the AC in the car, which is one of the most
But what happens when
common
the AC
issue.
breaks for the globe?
Yeah, but someone will fix it. It's everywhere.
I know, but how long will it take to fix? You know,
Then
how many
you'll
people will it take to fix it?
then you'll just experience weird weather for like about a. Then you'll just experience whatever the weather is outside.
Yeah, and then if we were to somehow get, you know, a dome around the world to have perfect temperature, well, I don't know. Would that work? It'd have to be. It could be solar powered, so it could take all the energy
Yeah.
from the sun. But like, would it
I don't.
overheat?
I don't. Who knows?
Would we bake alive? Is that
Like with the way the sun drops.
the way the sun would just be like?
There's nerds that will figure out like the mechanics of it. I'm just an ideas guy.
I just give you ideas. You guys make it work, fucking nerds.
Yeah, it's like I give you the ideas, run with it.
And then that would be the way to, you know, help the left wing liberals, because then we would have to convert all cars to EV because you wouldn't want those carbon emissions blocking up our good air from our globe.
Yeah.
So we would move over. At that
Save-
point, we could move on to like a rail system. All vehicles will be on a rail system. Avoid any kind of accidents. There's no plug up in traffic,
Here you go.
and everyone can get to where they need to go.
True.
There'd be no need for car insurance, which would put a bunch of businesses out.
We're essentially creating a utopia.
Yeah.
But off capitalism, which
Exactly.
is the best utopia. I've had a way. I figured you could do communism, but you'd have to almost do it like fantasy football, where you have to like. People don't just want to. Don't want to just like you have to have a means to an end. But if we all had like our needs provided for us, what if like instead of like money and other that, it was like there was just a scoreboard on your phone that showed like everyone's ranking like a credit score.
I was gonna say
It
something.
means absolutely no. It means absolutely.
Well, that's what they do in China. They have a social score system.
Yeah, but I'm saying ours means absolutely nothing except just like crypto, we'll put value in it. It's just something to stun on people with. But we would also be stupid enough to then reinvent it as actual currency. So it's actually it's a never-ending cycle.
Like I said, I don't know exactly how the social score system works in China, but I mean, if that's similar to what you're talking about, I mean, once again, China's one step ahead of us.
We're 1 week on Tony Khan watch, no incident in a week.
Proud of you, Tony.
His football team won.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because, what was it? Steve McMahon? Shane McMahon's son?
Yeah.
One of the McMahons was already
But
talking
that-
shit about AEW.
Yeah, but
so-
that's a college team.
No, I know, but we'll see where that takes us with Tony Khan, because Tony Khan doesn't take criticism very well.
It's fun. We need to clip this and send it to him, see how well he takes this.
Hey, Tony, if you want to be on the pod, just hit us up on Twitter, and we'll give you some food for thought. We can listen to you rant about how great your company is when it gets half the ratings of the WWE with John Cena and The Undertaker on it, and they're not even getting their highest quality ratings, and you're still only getting to half of them.
But that's
Proud of you,
actually, that's
bud.
actually good though, because one's a 50-year-old company. He's already halfway. He's over halfway to them in 4 years.
Wow. You know, I was actually in Walmart the other day, because one of my kids was getting a birthday gift for their friend, and I saw a whole shelf of wrestling action figures.
For who? WWE.
It was like you had like 20 WWE wrestlers and like 4 AEW wrestlers.
Like,
So their name's getting out there. In 4 years, you got 4 wrestlers on the shelves in Walmart
can you
action
name
figures.
4 AEW? I can still name like John
can only-
Cena, The Undertaker, The Rock.
Stone Cold,
Randy
The
Orton.
Miz, Randy Orton, D-Generation X. You had Jeff Hardy.
We're just naming everyone from 20 years ago. I think like maybe one might wrestle now.
Well, what is it? Who's that Scottish guy? You got Sheamus, who's the Irish guy. You got the Scottish guy who just won the Royal Rumble like 2 years ago. You got Roman Reigns.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got Dominic Mysterio. You got Rhea Ripley. You got Rey Mysterio still in the
That's
WWE.
But most of these names we've named are like from 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I can't.
I can name Daddy Magic.
Alright.
And I mean, you could say Sting works for both because for some reason they brought his old ass out of retirement to try and get ratings, and that's only getting them up to half the
Isn't
WWE's
Sting
rating.
like 60?
I'm.
He is. 60.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Because he was big when I was 8.
And then who was the other one that they're so happy about that they have? Not Sting, but there's another
Edge?
older guy. Yeah, Edge.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like you're just watching essentially you're watching the show you watched as a kid, but just now everyone's older and somehow, it's like if I was a Packers fan, our solution to like moving past Jordan Love was let's roll Brett Favre out here.
For real.
He can still go. Like look at that arm. It's like how everyone every like couple of years like, T.O. can still go,
I
man.
mean, he's 50, but I mean, I feel like
Dude,
he could.
He's fast.
He still got that Roundtree, bro.
Like, Like you're just convincing. It's just like.
And with how soft the league is getting, I mean, T.O. could probably still put up another couple 1,000-yard receiving season.
It's just like eating the member berries.
I remember.
I remember when Brett Favre used to show his dick at people. I remember.
You remember when T.O. broke his leg before the Super Bowl?
And then he still played and had 100 yards. And then he complained, it's like, if this was Brett Favre doing it and lost, you'd view him as a hero?
I remember.
Well, yeah, but that's the show today.
That is...
Also powered by Cherry Coke, Zero Sugar, and Diet Pepsi Wild Cherry. One of you, if you want to sponsor us, game on.
Yeah, we're men of substance. You know?
Also powered by Stella Blue Coffee.
Stella Blue. Hey, Big Cat, we're talking to you. We could make a sex tape for you, Big Cat. I don't think you'd want to watch it, but I mean, if you're down.
Maybe he would.
Maybe. You never know.
Maybe he's curious.
Hey.
But anyways.
I'll show him my lighthouse outside of Gillette Stadium.
But anyways, that's a wrap.
It's the only thing I wrap up is this podcast. All right, y'all.
I'm about to pull out. Bye.
Hey.
Love you guys.